All right, good morning. It is the 20th. It is Monday, and it is November. I am getting myself ready for the day here, getting all sorted out. Today, I've got 3 interviews with candidates for this one executive assistant role that we're trying to fill on the hire for me side. Hoping that, again, some people rise to the top, and this works out really well for us. So I got more interviews throughout the week, but 3 today. And then this morning here in about half hour, I'm meeting with somebody who reached out on social media, wanting to ask me some questions about kind of what I do, video support. I am concerned that it is a ploy just to try and sell me some services, which will be annoying because I just don't have time for it to be wasted, because I'm not buying services from anybody at this point. And then I look at some of the stuff that I have from my list that I wrote yesterday, things that I needed to do. I got a lot of stuff in between that I'll be working on different projects to kind of chip away at and work at. But to me, it's like these next 3 days are so packed with things. The family and companies that I work with, I've got a lot of work with them to fit in. I got some emails to respond to. I'm going to decline some work that some people have inquired because I just don't think that I'm a good fit for certain people in certain situations. Even though I could use the money, I'm not going to do work that's not aligned with my best interests moving forward. So it's a busy few days. Thursday, I just hope it gets here quickly. I gotta get money and stuff for it so I can go down and do the gambling trip, but get down to Vegas a couple days away. I've been thinking I'm not even gonna take a laptop with me. Like, I'm gonna have zero access to any of that stuff. Just go down, have some hopefully good food, maybe a drink or two here and there, and just play poker. Looking forward to it. So let's get ready for today. Let's go through this meeting. Let's get through some other work and get shit done. That's what it's all about. All right, so a bit of an update here on where things are at. So I just had that call. No one trying to sell me, which was great. I love that when that happens. So trying to go through my list of stuff that I need to do. I got half hour before my first interview of the day. I realized I probably don't have interview questions set up. So good old ChatGPT has come up with some questions for me, which is great. I think that anybody who is looking for a job right now, they need to remember that they should be using ChatGPT to make their life a million times easier. And so that's ultimately what I'm trying to do here and using it. Again, for this executive assistant role that I'm looking for. Now, I put all my job interviews that I have, they're all very conversational in nature. So it's actually not that hard for me to go and meet with somebody and talk through an interview. So I'll go through and do that, and then I just got to get through my list. Like, I'm really finding that because I've got all these things I need to do, my time is tight. I was trying to look ahead for one of the family of companies that I work with. They'd want me to do some shadowing with some of their employees, and I can't get my schedule to work with their schedule, which is tricky. So again, just trying to balance things out and work through stuff. These next 3 weeks before we go to Mexico are going to be intense. I can't wait to get to Mexico. I was dreaming about it last night. I was dreaming about Vegas last night. Like, I always remember my dreams as well. I just can't wait to get away. So here we are. We're mid-afternoon. I've gone through now 3 interviews today, and I love when this happens, in that you get really good candidates. And so the candidates that I've gone through have been absolutely awesome. So looking forward to trying whittling down the list. I've got another interview in about 20 minutes, and then another couple tomorrow and Wednesday. So feeling good about this role, which is really nice. It's a good change of pace to have something that's really exciting and positive here from a interview perspective, because it's hard interviewing people, but when you have good candidates, it's going to be hard, I guess, to choose who ultimately should make it to the next round. But this is a pretty cool thing to do. All right, good morning. It is the 21st of November. It's a Tuesday. It is the day where I have typically lots of coaching and stuff going on, so getting ready, just packing my bag full of stuff to head on out. Last night, got to record content for one of my clients. She was speaking at an event at the university here, so that was really cool. And I said I was going to just kind of come in, record for the half hour that she was speaking, and then bounce. But you know what? I figured I'd stick around and just hear the other speakers present. It was kind of cool to be in an environment of learning, I guess, if you want to call it in a way. It's like for an association that she was speaking at. To be able to hear and see other people talk about different ideas, things about business, and just be around that. So it made me really, one, miss speaking, and two, just miss learning. Thinking a lot about that lately, actually, how much I miss that kind of stuff. So it's kind of cool. So today, yes, going out, and I got to leave within 10 minutes here to get across town for some in-person coaching with one of my clients. So it's interesting. So this client that I'm going to go meet with, they are a plumbing company. And so I do their content, social media and stuff for them, but I also coach them on certain aspects of their business. And so I was thinking about it today. I would say we're probably like 5, maybe 6 months now of going and, working with them. And every time I go over there, I've never gone over there where it's been actually good weather. It's kind of ironic. I don't know if ironic's the right word, but like as a plumbing company, every time I go, it's always raining. There's always water and stuff coming down. Every single time, every day, it rains. So it's fascinating. Tonight's supposed to be recording another event for another company, and I just don't know if that's happening or not because I haven't seen any promotion. So I'm going to reach out to them today to see if that actually is taking place tonight. Hopefully it is. If it's not, well, it frees up my night, which is cool. Always happy to have a free night these days, especially because 2 days going to Vegas. Very excited about that. All right, gotta go put this camera down and actually get myself all packed up and ready to go. All right, so here we are, as I said, heading out to do some in-person coaching. I just talked to one of my other clients that I was going to be connecting with today and doing for that event. That event is canceled. I got some people who aren't feeling so well. And one of the coaching sessions for that same company is also canceled because that person is also not feeling well. So I think, a few people just not feeling so hot, so it's best to just cancel in today's world. Of course, if you're not feeling great, last thing you want to do is get more people sick, right? So, heading out, gonna go do this. I don't know if you can hear or see it in the background of the window, but yeah, the rain is coming down, which is always honestly annoying. I hate rain. I'd rather drive through snow than rain. I think it is. I think also I hate rain, and this is like more of like a personal story thing I'll say, is that when I was a kid, our house would flood a lot. I had a basement room, and there was many a times where you wake up to water in the basement. And one time I remember having significant amount of water, like we're talking many, 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 many inches, and it took a long time to get everything sorted out with insurance and dealt with. Living in a small town, the house that we had, nice house, but it definitely was really prone to flooding, which sucked. And power goes out, and next thing you know, we're always like checking the sump pump. Like, oh my gosh, the sump pump is out, and what do you do? And you're panicking, you're worrying. That would suck when the power would go out, because then you're kind of bailing water sometimes. Like I remember many times bailing water. And then when I went to university, my first year of university, I lived in this, I'll be honest, like I'll be a little negative here. I kind of in a horrible home, probably because the people that I lived with wasn't the nicest of places that I lived. It was cheap, so therefore you get what you pay for, right? But it flooded 3 times, and my room was in the basement, and it was kind of an illegal room. It was like an 8x8 room with no windows, and everything drained to my room. And so that first week of living in St. Catharines, I had to deal with flood, and then more floods after that, because just things didn't work right. So I've dealt with a lot of flooding, and I hate it. So when the rain comes, I'm always nervous. So when I bought my house, now we're coming back, 2.5 years? 2.5 years ago, bought our house, and saw the sump pump room, and our real estate agent said, ooh, that's a little more wet than I like. And we still ended up buying the house. And so for the first, I would say 5-6 months, kind of like wasn't happy with that sump pump room.
So then we called a waterproofing specialist, and they came out, tore up the entire floor in that sump pump room, waterproofed everything. Like, okay, maybe we're good to go. Felt really dry in that room, which was great. I'm like, this is awesome. But then I noticed water problems in that part and then one wall of our house. And I was like, oh, this is not good. Like, we still got issues. We spent money to waterproof, and there's problems. We always had this issue when we first moved in that the driveway itself was so cracked and beat up. Like, it was just terrible. It needed to be replaced clearly a long time ago, and previous owners of a house did not do anything with it. And so there was a part where, like, it kind of sunk and water would just sit there, but then eventually disappears. So, well, it's going somewhere. So learned that it's kind of going actually into our house somewhat. And then we're like, okay, we're going to fix this driveway, and we're going to cap our porch as well. Not a cheap endeavor at all to do it. And, you can spend $20 some odd $1,000, fix all that, and if I had wood, I would knock on wood and say, been good since, which is great. Like, that $20,000 plus that we spent really, like, addressed all the water problems. It sealed everything up. It got rid of all the cracks, all the spots where water is going to come in. So, feeling better, but you always worry. A few months back when there was that massive tornado that, again, people who have been longtime watchers of this series seen, I had to clean up all that tree that happened. We didn't have the sump pump turn on for 6 hours, and the amount of water or rain coming down was absolutely insane. And a very stressful night. Like, I kept opening the door, checking. We have a battery backup on it, but I'm not convinced that it was actually really, truly working. Unfortunately, I'm going to publicly shame myself here, the world's least handiest man ever, and kind of pathetic in a lot of ways. So I still don't know if it actually was working or not. Like, I'm wondering if it was, because I expected to see water, and there was no water. But the battery backup lights and stuff don't seem to be on this, so I have to still deal with that. But yeah, just very stressed out by water, and when the rain comes down, it gets me thinking. So I think it's kind of ironic, again, going into a plumbing company today on a day where it's raining. And so what I'm hoping to do is maybe even shoot some videos talking about this. It's like, hey, today it's raining. Remember, check your sump pump. Make sure it's good. If it's not good, make sure you get a battery backup. I just think that kind of stuff is really important, kind of those public service announcements. When I was with them a couple weeks back, we shot some videos on turning off your hose bibs. So your outdoor hose is making sure that stuff's turned off, especially here in Canada. You don't want to sit there and have everything freeze and crack and cause a problem, start leaking. Again, I'll poke fun of myself for this one, but my first year, or second year, or whatever it was, last year I guess it would be, living in the house, I neglected to turn off the water and disconnect the hose until it was too late. We had some cold spells, and it caused an issue where my hose bib was just leaking, and it took me longer than I like to say to deal with it. Whenever the water was turned on, you'd still have leaking and stuff happening, and it wasn't a good scene. And this company that I'm going to go see and help, they came and they fixed it, and it's all been great since. But again, it was a couple $100 I didn't have to spend if I just would not have been an idiot in addressing it and dealing with it. Maybe there's a common theme here. Maybe I'm just an idiot in terms of dealing with this stuff. But there's things I guess you just learn. Even though, yes, I am pushing 40, this is the first time I've ever owned my own home. I've been renting a lot. I've been in relationships with people who have owned the home, and then it kind of becomes your home. But never really truly my name's on the paperwork like it is this time. So it's truly all on me. I guess I've had a water heater explode before in a different home, and that leaking out all over the place. So again, I just dealt with water. I hate it. I hate it also probably because when I was a kid, I got pulled from the bottom of a pool. So maybe water is my kryptonite, my thing that I don't really like. I've been pulled out of the ocean as well. So, all right, that's my crazy little stories. I'm gonna go finish my drive by listening to some tunes and try and enjoy this rainy weather as I'm driving in.
All right, so here we are. We are 24 hours away from going to Las Vegas. I'm excited. Today's gonna be tough to get through, just because I think I'm excited about going away tomorrow. Um, so today is, well, I guess the 22nd of November. Got lots of meetings and stuff that I'm doing today. I've got some interviews going on this afternoon for that role that I'm trying to hire for. Hopefully that works out, and then we kind of make a decision on kind of next steps. And then this morning, though, I'm going to be recording content in about an hour and a half. So I got to leave. So I'm going to try this morning and download a bunch of videos that I tried to edit yesterday. So yesterday I signed up for a brand new service, one of these AI services or whatever like that, and it's really, really popular, this one. And I know that a lot of people are talking really good things about it, that they absolutely think it's amazing. So I thought, okay, I do a free trial. Free trial is cool. I do the paid version, and then ran into nothing but problems trying to export every single video that I was editing. Reached out to their customer service. They said, "Oh, we'll get back to you." And it looks like in the middle of the night, they got back to me, said, "Okay, everything's now resolved." So I'm hoping it's resolved, because yesterday spent, I don't even know, I have to maybe convert it. It's probably $400 on this software. So I'm hoping that this software actually does the trick and works for me and saves me, again, some time, because again, that's what I'm all about, trying to save time as we're batch recording videos. So I think about, though, if I can get these videos done, that's content for myself. I got content for clients and stuff in there. I've got another 70 videos for myself that need to be now thumbnailed, and then I've got all those videos that I shot about a month ago now, completely edited on my side, so then I can start to use those on social media. I've dropped the odd one here and there, but to be more consistent, start to pumping that stuff out with other content as well. So I look at the list that I had. I've basically gotten everything done that I said I wanted to get done before heading away to Vegas. I made a post that's going to go out later on today where I talk about, I'm going to Vegas, and I've decided not bringing a laptop. Cell phone's going to be not available. I'm not checking email. I'm going completely dark while I'm in Vegas, so I'm just focused. I'm also going with the lowest amount of money I've ever taken to Vegas, and I'm doing that intentionally to see, can I survive in Vegas with only so much money, a limited amount of money that's really not a lot to work with. So if I don't win or cash in the first day, I'm really screwed for the second day, is the way it's kind of working it. So I think it'll be interesting. I'm going to bring my camera down. Of course, I'm going to shoot some content to make sure that it's, covered the ups. Hopefully it's all ups, but there's no downs. But if there are downs, of what that journey is going to be like. But it will be interesting to sit there and say, can I go to Vegas on the cheap with I'm not bringing luggage or anything like that. I'm just bringing whatever I can fit in my backpack and just a small amount of money and turn it into something. This will be interesting to see how I do it. And then if I don't, I'm left with 4 days of not a lot happening. So let's see how this goes. Look forward to sharing updates on that tomorrow after I land there and get going. Okay, so here we are. It is November 23rd, Thursday. It is time to fly to Vegas day. I just spent the morning just packing up. And actually, it's pretty easy for this trip because I'm going very, very light overall. Literally just a backpack. I've got everything just stuffed in a backpack. That's it. So, the plan is simple. Fly out today. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to go across the border because I'm an idiot and I'm traveling on US Thanksgiving. But we'll get across the border, fly to Detroit, get down to Vegas, land about 5:30, then get over to the MGM Grand, check in, get into my room, and then hopefully get down for the 7-10 tournament that's happening at the MGM Grand. It's only $100 to buy in. Usually there's I'd say almost 8 to 10 tables that are going. So first place prize pays a few $1,000s. If I could cash, that would be great, because that would set up then the rest of the next couple of days. So I've basically mapped out 2 streams. I've got one, if I don't do well in the tournament tonight and I don't make any money, just cheap tournaments to play for the next couple of days. If I do well, I've got another stream. There's a special event that's happening at the Venetian that I just learned. That's a bit of a more of a bigger buy-in, not too big, but like $500. And if it's $500, there's a guaranteed prize pool of $25,000 in that tournament. So that would be kind of cool. I looked at the last couple of years, only about 50 people signed up for that tournament. So I think that that's a small field. I've won tournaments with thousands of players before, but this will be in person. It'll attract a bigger crowd. If that doesn't work, there's some tournaments at the Win that are happening. I see these all the time because I follow the Win on social media. They're $160 tournaments, and they ended up paying pretty well. They pay about $5,000 for first place prizes. So there's that. There's Aria. Horseshoe has got some of the cheaper tournaments, so that might be my first track if tonight doesn't go well. So Horseshoe is just not that far of a walk from the MGM Grand where I'm staying. So lots of different options. Because this time I'm only taking a backpack. Like I'm not going to fancy restaurants or anything like that because I'm kind of, I call it slumming it in terms of the clothes that I'm wearing. I'm wearing more clothes for comfort because again, sitting playing poker for hours and hours on end, you want to be comfortable. So it's comfy clothes, t-shirts. I'm going to be rocking the All In Content brand. I will be wearing those because I find those to be really, really comfortable clothing and shirts. So I'll be wearing some of that stuff. So again, it all fits into a backpack. I'm going only with $1,000 cash. So once that's gone, it's a quiet trip. So my goal is to be very, very smart, very, very strategic. I've said before that when it comes to playing poker, especially for money, unlike a lot of other, I'll call them idiots out there, I will not drink either. So it's going to be a really cheap weekend. Staying at the MGM Grand is good. Just because I think there's some quick options nearby for some cheaper food and stuff as well. I do get a resort credit that'll cover my meals probably pretty much. So I think this will be the cheapest Vegas trip I'll ever have. And I hope that it is also the most profitable one that I ever have as well.
All right, so here we are. It is noon. I am now on the road. I am heading to the Ambassador Bridge to go and cross. Everyone said I should cross there instead of crossing at the tunnel. I am giving myself, I think, plenty of time. I'm hoping it's plenty of time. We'll see if there's any sort of backlog at the bridge. Because my flight's not till 3, so I've got 3 hours. With no traffic, it should take 40 minutes. Probably from my house crossing the bridge is my guess, which gives me, again, lots of time getting through security. It should be very, very easy. I'm not checking a bag. I'm just going through with my backpack, as I've already said. So again, should be very straightforward. I am excited to go. I am not looking forward to sitting on the plane for as long as I am, because I'm not sitting in the big seats, but I am still just very excited to get away. It's going to go really quickly, though, too. I realized, like, it's a couple of days, really, at the end of the day, going to this trip to Vegas. Yeah, it should be good. Like, I'm mentally just getting myself into the zone. I was doing a lot of thinking, because, I had read that Doyle Brunson book, so I was, getting myself ready for poker in general, thinking about things of, like, what style and approach do I want to take? And I traditionally mix things up, which you always should, but because I haven't played in a long time in person with actual people who know what they're doing, I haven't been to Vegas almost a year now, which is unfortunate. I think I'm going to be taking a bit more of a really tight approach for my first tournament. I'm guessing, if I had to think about it, like, I don't think I'll be playing loose and aggressive. Obviously, it depends on the cards you're getting, and the table that you're kind of sitting at and who you're with. But every time for the last, I'd say 4 or 5 years of going to Vegas, and when I go and play in tournaments, especially when I play at the MGM, I see a lot of familiar faces. Like, you're playing against Las Vegas locals, I find, in a lot of these tournaments. Especially the 7 p.m. tournament. So that'd be the first tournament that I'll play tonight. Provided, again, I'm feeling good. Like, if I'm not feeling, like, say, 100%, like, I'm just, like, maybe I'm too tired, maybe I'm too hungry, I'm not going to play in the tournament, depending on how this flight goes. Provided the flight's good, I'll have no problem. But if it's kind of shitty and I'm tired, well, maybe it's better just to play smart tomorrow. Obviously, that'll shift things up, and I won't be playing in that Venetian tournament if I don't play tonight, and obviously do well tonight. But yeah, just gotta get into the zone more than anything else. I have this option where I was able to try and do mobile check-in with the MGM Grand, so I could already just like basically walk straight to my room. And so I tried doing that online. For some reason, the app wasn't working properly, so I will have to go and, check in person, which typically that sucks. But because I'm a gold member in terms of my status, they have got a separate area that I've never really used before to go and check in, but it gives you kind of like a priority pass all the way through everything. So, you know what? Fuck it. Like, I have the membership of being gold. This year I'll have it just for obviously another 5 weeks, and then it'll drop because I haven't been spending money or going there. So I'm going to lose my status. So I might as well use the status to get ahead. That's what it's all about. All right, I'm going to go pay attention, get ready, cross the border. Hopefully, again, it doesn't take too long.
All right, so here we are. We've landed in Las Vegas. I've checked into the hotel room. I'm pretty happy with the room that I got. I am on the 28th floor, which is one from the very, very top. I've got, it's hard to see, you're not going to see it now, but like I've got a full view of the Las Vegas Sphere, which is really cool. I've been watching that for the last few minutes. I can see Top Golf. I can see everything here. I got a decent size view of the back part of some of the strip here, so very excited to be here, feeling confident on how things are going to go. Yeah, you can kind of see you got Sphere in the background, I guess, with this shot. I didn't think you could see it with the lights, but yeah, pretty cool. To be here. Now I'm gonna go get some food. I've got an hour and 20 minutes before the first poker tournament of the weekend. All right, so we have arrived. We are in Vegas. We are just at New York here. Can't really tell. Actually, we can tell if you do look at this. The Statue of Liberty. So yeah, we are here. I've got about 10 minutes before I gotta go and jump into the 7-10 tournament at the MGM Grand. You can see the green in the background there. Ready to jump into that. All right, so let's give an update here. I am at the break. So that means we just finished 7 rounds, and for a good section of the tournament, I was either in chip leader position or I was second overall. I think I'm still probably sitting at least top 3, I think, in the tournament. So yeah, doing good. It's a smaller tournament. It's actually only 22 people in it. So it's a small tournament tonight, but feeling good, playing a little bit tighter than I normally like to. So I think when I come back, I want to play a bit more aggressively. I lost a big pot, which probably took me out of chip leader position. But yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling in the zone. Everyone else is having drinks. I've already spotted what we call the sucker at the table. Just waiting to bust him. There's a couple other guys I know that I can bust as well. So again, feeling great. All right, so here we are, final table, 8 people left. I am sitting in 4th. I was in 3rd, but I just lost a massive pot. I think the time change is starting to get to me because right now it is after 1 a.m. back home. So we'll see how it all shakes out. Actually, I was wrong. It's actually much later than I thought. I thought it was after 1. It's actually after 2 a.m. And I've realized that based on the blinds and where they're going up to after this, I have only 10 big blinds left, and I am sitting in the middle of the pack, so people are going to be going out real quick, so I could be done any minute. If I get any hand, I have to go all in. So it's crazy how much the game just goes wild like that. All right, so here I am back in the room. Unfortunately, I got 5th place. Only top 3 paid out. I did get myself up to 3rd. And then I made a critical error. I think I lost like 30 to 40% of my chips on a really critical error before the break. Get back from the break, and then every hand that I ended up playing, I went in with the best hand, and I lost on the river. Every single one. And next thing you know, same thing. That's how I get out of the game. Someone calls me with a 7-3, and they hit a 3, and I'm out. So anyways, it was fun. Good time. But, tomorrow's a new day.
I'm just so bummed because I actually thought, like, if I could just like win one of those last few hands, I can definitely cash. There was no question about it. Like, there was two guys who were dominating the game, and then really third place is up for grab for anybody. And then when a couple guys went out, I thought, okay, I'm sitting here looking good for probably third for sure. I can just play against these guys. Like, I have a chance to win this. Like, these guys weren't that good that were there, but I just couldn't have my cards hold up. Again, other tournaments to play. Okay, so I'm laying here trying to get myself, like, to fall asleep. And it's probably weird that people are like, oh, you're laying here, no shirt on, in bed, recording a video. Yeah, it is a little weird. But I'm thinking about the fact that I played almost perfect, except for one hand, and then that's when things went downhill. I shouldn't have played ace jack suited as aggressively as I did against the most aggressive player at the table. And he even said to me, you don't want to play against me with this hand. And I thought, he's just talking shit. But when the flop came down and it was queen high, I did a continuation bet. And that's when he pushed in huge. My continuation bet was sized wrong. And he said, you don't want to call this. And then I folded. And then he flipped over, he had ace queen. So obviously he was better than my ace jack. But I was out to try and prove, I thought the guy was full of shit. So like one mistake, and that's when I kind of get kicked out of the tournament. But it's kind of just weighing on my mind. The other thing I was thinking about, if I could go back in time a few hours, I don't know if I should have played in this tournament, because I get here off the plane, tried sleeping on the plane, which it was hard, it was tough, and I'm exhausted. So I was struggling concentration-wise for the last, I'd say, half of the poker match. Even so, if getting out in fifth is good, yes, but like, I didn't cash, which is the whole point. So I've turned off my alarm. I was going to get up and play one of the earlier morning tournaments because I figured it'd be a softer kind of field. But I've decided at this point I am just going to sleep as long as I can. So hopefully I can get a good night's sleep, feel rested. Might order room service for breakfast or go out and get breakfast somewhere. Because I get a credit, I'd probably just do room service. Just to chill out and relax, and there's not a rush then to go and play some tournaments. I'm going to play, I think, some different tournaments that are not actually on site here as well. Talking to some of the guys that I was sitting at the table with. But yeah, try and get to sleep now, I guess. Well, it'll be now 3:40 in the morning back home time, so I'm exhausted. All right, so here we are. It is the Friday morning. I got up and I said I was going to go and have some breakfast, but I wasn't hungry, so I decided to skip breakfast this morning. Played at a slot machine, lost money there. Second to poker. I'm now heading to the monorail to go play some tournaments. I haven't decided yet if I'm doing Horseshoe or doing Caesars. Horseshoe tournament at this point won't start until now 11 for the new game. It's the other one started at 9 and it's almost 10. Or I can do the 10 o'clock Caesars tournament. So I'm just going to see. I haven't been on the monorail in a year, so just want to go do that right now. All right, so here we are on the monorail. It is the best way to travel when you are on the Strip.
Our next stop is the closest station.
It's annoying with the sound.
Fountain show, featuring the Miracle Mile Shops, the Cosmopolitan featuring Marquee Night and Day Club.
It's not really effective to record video on. I've just now realized I should have remembered this. Very irritating and annoying. So I'm going to walk through Horseshoe. I think then I'm going to go over to Caesars. I think that's going to be the play. Alright, so it's been a bit day of no luck. Just left Yard House, had a couple drinks, some food. Now I'm going to head over. Not sure which place yet. I'm going to go over and play a 2 o'clock tournament. Hopefully that works out better for me than what I've gone through so far. Alright, so here I am at the
poker room in the Horseshoe. I've been playing the 2 o'clock tournament here. Not been playing bad, not been playing good. Got some good hands, but no action. I've had kings a couple of times, I've had aces a couple of times, but still it's been just grinding it out. So trying to see how we do, but yeah, having fun. Unfortunately, busted out of the wind tournament. Had pocket aces, lost with those big time. Another one, I tripped out, had to trip queens. Guy ended up flopping a full house. So yeah, just a rough poker time today. Alright, so I'm playing my last tournament, probably of the day, I'm guessing. But so far, I'm doing alright. I'm chip leader going into the break. So after 7 rounds, so feeling good about that. Hopefully it can continue, because yeah, I've been on a bit of a roll. Alright, so here I am, back in the room, and lost another tournament. This one went deep, with still 30 players still remaining, which is surprising by the end of the second break. There was basically like a hand before it. I went in, at least at my table, I was the chip leader, into the final, I'd say, after round 8. We got all the way up to round 12, and I didn't win a single hand between 8 and 12. And then I looked down, I'm basically like one hand away, I'm forced to go all in. I looked down, I got kings. I was able to triple up, which is great. But by the time the blinds circled around again to me, I was forced to go all in. I go all in, and I had ace-9. Guy calls with queens. I hit my ace, looking good. Like, okay, I'm going to double up. This will be good for me. He trips out and gets queen on the river. So this seems to be the story of my time. It's the last tournament I was playing in because I am now tapped out of money. So sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and this time I lost. So basically, I've now got all tonight left with no money left to play with, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. And then I'm going to try and find a good meal somewhere because I haven't used my resort credit yet, which gives me $100 free for a meal somewhere. So might as well spend that up because I spent everything else in terms of money. So kind of bummed, not going to lie. This has been probably the most disappointing Vegas trip I've had. I was very excited coming here, but when you're just losing nonstop, makes it not fun. And it's just unbelievable how many times just getting rivered and nothing seeming to work out. I had hands that were good. I got aces dealt to me at least I'd say 4 or 5 times over the course of the last couple of days. I've had kings about the same 4 or 5 times. I've had queens. I've had hands, but when I got hands, I either got no action or I got absolutely obliterated and just destroyed on the river by sometimes the shittiest cards you'd imagine. Sometimes people just legitimately call with decent hands and then they end up catching. So I just nothing hold up. So unfortunate. So my best finish was my first tournament, which was 5th overall. That was the final table. Other than that, not good. So actually, not gonna lie. Like I'm actually looking forward to now going home tomorrow. Going home a bit poor, but looking forward to going home nonetheless. All right, so here we are this morning, Sunday, heading back home at the airport early. Thank God I am, because I'm an idiot and I went to the wrong gate. So now I have to go clear across the airport. Like, okay, I got a bit of time, but very frustrated on this whole trip. But it is what it is. Certainly is one way to get your steps in. I went to D gate. I was supposed to be at A, so I'm literally going all the way back across the entire airport. Thought I'd have time for breakfast. There'll be no time for breakfast. And then I will be heading home. But I don't land until like 2:30. So it's a no breakfast, no lunch day. Probably get across the border, let's say 3:30. Home just in time for dinner. So yeah, it's been a frustrating weekend. No luck. Rivered a whole bunch. Constantly just going in with the best hand and coming out losing. Last night, I thought I'd go out and like maybe just go to a bar and watch a hockey game or something, but I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna go and just chill out at home, like in the room, and I'm frustrated. Very angry. Disappointed in this trip, not gonna lie, I'm very disappointed.